Good evening, everyone. Colonel Aldus Valor here with you. And I always forget that I have just the one light. Fuck that. We'll keep this. This is something for all the film students out there. It's called Depth of Field. Anyway. See, I have just the one light up there, so I was like, oh no, I'm disappearing. Anyway. Before we get started tonight, a couple of things to make you aware of regarding my activities within the next couple of days. First of all, it's not even midnight yet, but it'll be after midnight, at least here on the East Coast, before you see this video, which would technically make it Friday, but because it's actually still technically Thursday, and because I won't call it Friday until after I wake up, you're instead getting a video on a Thursday night, which is unusual. But because I'm making a video tonight instead of Friday night like I normally do, there's a chance that you might get another video tomorrow. Who knows? One thing that is certain is that on Saturday night I will be participating in, I'll be interviewed on a skeptics podcast or something. I'm not sure of all the details, but I'll be there, and if you're watching this after Saturday, or if you're watching it before Saturday, come back after Saturday and watch it again. In the description of this video, I will include a link to where you can find this podcast that I'll be on. Oh my, welcome back from the edit, everyone. I don't usually cut these openings, but I realized that I fucked something up, so I get to do it again. There's been some rumors circulating around, and I'm going to confirm them right now on my next live broadcast, which will be Monday, February 8th, at 11 a.m. on the East Coast. I will be interviewing Bewildered Ape, and full disclosure, there is a possibility that I may have to reschedule that, but it won't have anything to do with Bewildered Ape. It would be my fault entirely. If that happens, you'll know. Follow me on Twitter, and you'll get all the updates you need on that one. So, I guess there's nothing left to do but to roll the main titles. So, here we are. I have nothing prepared. Not a goddamn thing. Off the cuff. Just, my response to the situation at hand, and I'm sure you figured out from the title of this video what that's going to be. So, for those of you who don't know, like I didn't know before just a couple hours ago, there's a guy on the internet called Roosh V, and apparently he travels around the world and claims to pick up women and writing instruction manuals on how to pick up these women in any nation of the world. I don't know. I've never watched him. I guess he's got a decent sized following. Who knows? Apparently, he's recently come out as advocating for the decriminalization of rape on private property. And my initial response to that is, he's never going to get anywhere with it. Nevertheless, apparently there's a bunch of feminists and SJWs jumping up and down about what's going on with Roosh V, and I wish that I had more time to prepare a good rape joke here, but you're going to get one that I've used years before that you might not have ever heard of, because a lot of you are new. So it goes like this. JJ talks, she's a feminist, and we all know what a feminist is, right? A stuck-up bitch who needs a good raping. And that's how it goes, and then I'd go on to make my point. Here's my point. JJ Talks just released a video. Well, she didn't just do it. She did it a couple days ago. JJ Talks recently released a video where she's crying for 6 minutes about how the anti-feminists, or the self-proclaimed egalitarians, aren't jumping up and down on the throat of Roosh V. And the only thing I can say, and I can only speak for myself, is that maybe these people haven't heard of him or what he did. God forbid I don't read every single goddamn thing on the internet. I mean, I didn't realize it was my job to read, digest, and respond to every single event that happens at any point in time. Mind blown. I'll have to renegotiate my contract. Basically, her contention is that the people who advocate for equality aren't demonizing this Roosh V guy. And from what little I've read so far this evening, it seems like he's doing a pretty good job of that himself. That and whatever slack he's leaving, the rest of the world seems to be picking up. I mean, he already faced harsh criticism for wanting to tour the world talking about decriminalizing rape, and that's like decriminalizing murder. It's like, that'll never fly, except maybe in like the Middle Eastern nations, but whatever. Not the point. The point is that these people aren't demonizing the person that JJ wants them to. See, I believe in equality for everyone, but at the same time, I don't really advocate for that. I don't advocate for many things. I advocate for internet ethics. I advocate for the protection of minors, which I think everyone can get behind. And I also advocate for the elimination of all religions up to and including feminism. You know what else I don't always talk about? Things that I like. I don't. I mean, you know the things I hate, but I don't talk about the things I like. For this next part of the presentation, I'm going to play 2 clips for you. Here comes the first one.
So it's frustrating seeing all of these people who I like I see these people on my Twitter, and they're YouTubers that I respect and I like, and I don't agree with them a lot of the time, and you know, these are typically the people who are not feminists, whatever, but say they aren't feminists because they actually do care about equality and all this other stuff, which is all fine and dandy, but all they can do is sit there and like fucking make jokes about feminism. Like, that's all I'm saying on my Twitter today. And who won't speak up about this issue because they only make fun of feminists. And again, like, people can sit there and make fun of feminism, whatever, but when their overarching thing is, oh, I really care about equality, then you have to walk the walk and call this shit out, because that's not okay. And you don't, because your shtick is making fun of feminism. Why people can't recognize that this is something that's fucked up. I feel like you guys are just so desensitized to it that you just assume that everything is like, you know, SJWs on the internet. This is a real life guy doing real life shit, and you should call it out, you know? And because of that, then people start making fun of it. They're like, oh, but then they ignore the real life issues that exist, and you can't do that. You have to acknowledge them. I'm sorry. And it's just so fucked up to me. So please don't act like you fucking give a shit about social issues. Egalitarianism my ass if you do not call the shit out. Thank you. I'm done.
Welcome back. Now, what I want you to do is remember everything. Watch it again if you have to. I'll wait. I think that was enough time. Okay. Now, lock everything you just saw in that steel trap of a mind and watch this next clip.
Because YouTube is supposed to be authentically you. You don't have to worry about if you're good enough, if you're interesting enough, and sometimes you do, but either way, you can have a channel and you can definitely have an audience and definitely make friends. So while YouTube is supposed to encourage me to be myself and put whatever the fuck I want on here, I have developed this false sense of obligation to my identity, my label. I don't want to feel obligated to hide my opinions or my thoughts or change myself, because the point of this was I wanted to be myself.
For those of you keeping track at home, this is the third cigarette that I've lit while shooting this video because I fucked up the beginning. So, JJ Talks and her crygasm boils down to this. She's upset to the point of tears because the people that she subscribed to aren't releasing the material that she wants to see. And instead of unsubscribing like everyone else does, she's literally going to cry about it. So the people that she watches don't release the material that she wants to see. This is so emotionally charged that it reduces her to tears. But at the same time, she's the same person who not too long ago said that the way to fix YouTube is to be yourself and make the videos that you want to. See, I advocate for internet ethics for many, many reasons. One of them stems from the fact that I've been a troll on the internet for many, many years. Like way back in the bulletin board days. And when it comes to things like doxing, I oppose them for ethical reasons. But one reason why I won't do it, not just because it's unethical, is because, well, it's for the same reason that the Joker never unmasks Batman. He doesn't care who's under the mask. He wants you at your best. He wants the Dark Knight. I mean, look at Dr. Christie Government's fall from grace recently. I mean, yeah, I'm slamming her now, but I'm not dedicating an entire fucking video to her. I mean, Jesus. The only time I score double digits on a video is when it's up for like an hour or two, and then I private it. She was a flash-in-the-pan feminist who runs around in comment sections now saying that your subjective opinion is meaningless because you're not presenting any evidence to back up your opinion. Therefore, your opinion is invalid. What's the point? I just summed up her entire quality of character right there. I don't need to make a whole video about that. Just like doxing and hacking and involving the real life and all that other bullshit needs to be called out. Hypocrisy also needs to be called out. And here's why. Because if you're going to make a video where you're demanding that everybody makes the media that they want to do, you're saying that these people need to be themselves, produce the media that they want to produce, and then you're going to cry when they do exactly that. It means, at least to me, that the things you said initially about being yourself and releasing the media that you want to release was a huge crock of bullshit that you don't actually believe. See, I like to think that I represent the internet in matters such as these. And I think I've laid out a pretty good case here. And I think it's one that you need to answer for, JJ. The prosecution rests.